Hello there, guys. My name is Isaac,
And I'm Sam.
and we are
Skywell TCG.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another tier list video.
We are.
This one isn't probably going to be quite as funny as the last one we did. This one isn't going to be like...
Maybe. We might disagree. I feel like for the most part we're actually going to agree on these. We
Yeah.
grew up. We're basically the same age.
Yeah.
We played a lot of the same games
watched
around the
shows.
same time.
Yeah.
But basically we want to be clear, this is an all-encompassing tier list. This is like the Pokemon region, so that the way that we're doing this is we're kind of including the game, the anime, the Pokemon that live in it, the actual region itself, like
sentimental value.
Like, so this is going to be very opinionated. It's not going to make sense, so we're probably going to move stuff around a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of our opinions they're not going to...
You're probably going to disagree with us because I think we like a very specific type of game with these, and we like... There's going to be one or two that we disagree on, but for the most part...
It's probably... They're going to be between, like, B and C, or, like, A and
So,
S.
bear with us. We had to get we went with the game, cartridges.
We were going to do maps of the regions. We couldn't find good PNGs that weren't, like, completely, like, pixelated.
Yeah.
We want to be clear. We're aware that Platinum and Sun are also pixelated, and then Black's a little bit cut off, but...
It's the best we can do.
We're doing our best, so...
So, bear with us.
Why don't you lay off?
Yeah, don't get laid off.
Why don't you stop with the criticism?
No.
They were saying it.
Yeah, so bear with us. We're going to figure it out. We're hopefully going to be funny.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah. So, Pokemon Emerald. Fun fact, this is the second time we've had to rank Emerald. We stopped short after this last time, but in general, we think Emerald's very solid.
I want to be clear. I love Emerald. Ruby was the first game that I played, so Generation 3 holds a very special place in my heart. But I actually do like a lot of the Pokemon in Generation 3. I think are very solid. I think the legendaries are really cool. I think that the villains in it, are really
very
cool. Good. The whole I probably remember it a lot just because I played it, but it was just a really fun time.
The only thing for me, I haven't played all the way through Emerald. Oh, also I should be clear, we're using Emerald here instead of Ruby or Sapphire just because it has more of
we didn't want to do bias on we like Ruby more than Sapphire.
So we're using any chance that we can. We're using the one that encompasses more than one title because again, it is
the special third game.
We should have
because we have Pokemon Red in here, so we forgot to do it for that. So that's our bad.
Yeah,
that's our bad.
Apologies. Anyway, we think this is here. Yeah. Realistically, the only thing for me that holds this one back is I wasn't a huge fan of the anime.
And I will be clear, I wasn't either. I didn't. Max, May's little brother, he got on my nerves. He was a little nerd. I didn't like him, and also I had a big crush on Misty whenever I was whenever I was 8 or 9. So I was like, who the frick is this?
Yeah.
Why bring her back? And then I didn't like May, and I just had a very bad bias against her because she wasn't Missy. Yeah. And I acknowledge my faults on that.
To be perfectly honest,
it was unfair.
I'm not a huge Emerald guy, but I recognize that it is a good game.
Starters
a good
starters are arguably...
this is the thing that we disagree on in this one, is I don't think the starters are that iconic.
I would say that the starters are extremely iconic. I think that Blaziken is arguably the best fire starter, and definitely within the top 5 starters. I would argue Blaziken is awesome.
I think he's cool.
Swampert, I would put him in my top 3 or my top 5. Swampert's very cool, and also he's pretty good. He's actually a pretty well-statted Pokemon. Yeah. Trico is not... Sceptile.
It's funny because Trico's my favorite in that.
I think that he's really cool and he's really sick. And I liked him whenever Ash had him in the anime.
Yeah.
But he's not that good of a Pokemon to have on your team.
See, I think that's where we're disagreeing a little bit, is because in my brain, I'm definitely going based off of personality or in the anime, how do they behave? How cool were they? When we get to... Totodile.
I did a playthrough. So whenever I was younger, I would do 3 playthroughs, and I would play through every starter to figure out which one I actually liked the best. And Trico was the one that died the most amount of times in my playthrough, and so
that's fair. Well, also
that's probably me because
he has a little bit of a harder road out the gate, right? Because he's grass type. Yeah. So funny thing, I go back and forth between water and grass almost every region. I like the water and then the grass or the grass and the water, then the grass and the water, then the grass and the water.
I'm a simple man. I'm almost always fire.
Yeah, I don't like fire types for the most part. So this is fine for me. I think it's a good region. I think it's an okay anime.
We're wanting to save S tier. We may put more than one in S tier, but S tier is very sacred. S stands for sacred.
S is sacred tier. Yeah, Pokemon Black. This was the first game that I played. I played this one through, and then I went back and played the other ones. And this is the one that had the anime that was coming out on like cable whenever we were
This
little.
is the one that I remember watching a good bit because it was on whenever I was like the other ones, like I had to, whenever I watched, because I watched the original Pokemon, and then I watched Pokemon Johto, and then I watched, Pokemon Emerald or whatever, and Generation 3, and I had to like look those up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it had like the stupid, like it would be like the cropped screen, or like sometimes it would be like 1.5 speed, like you never knew. But I watched the entirety of those generations through that. So this was the first one that I actually got to watch like on my TV.
Yeah.
And it made it my favorite for a while just because of that.
I think that like the dragon types in this one are cool. I think Garchomp's awesome.
Garchomp is
I
really
think
cool.
that the starters are cool. I really love Oshawott. I really love Snivy because I think that Serperior is really cool.
There's one that we don't like, and he's holding it down.
Is Tepig... So here's my thing about Tepig. I think that Tepig sucks. I think that the middle one that I don't even remember sucks. I can't actually even remember the evolution off the top of my head. I think Imbor's the third one.
No, yeah, Imbor.
I think Imbor's kind of cool. The only reason for that is because he was one of the like trademark Pokemon cards in my first deck, and he was a heavy hitter.
See, that's fair.
So he has a little bit higher standing in my brain than most people's, I think.
I don't like any of them. I do like Snivy a lot though. Oshawott is really cool. Samurai, I agree with this.
Yes.
The thing that puts Emerald above Black in my mind, because Black was actually my first Nuzlocke that I did.
That's the one where you had the Lapras, or no, the Ragnarola.
Yeah, okay, I want to be clear that like a lot of my favorite Pokemon actually come from Generation 5, a couple of them do. Like Ragnarola, Darumaka.
Yeah.
If I'm saying that correctly.
He was cool in the anime.
He was cool in the anime, but those two saved my butt on my first Nuzlocke. And I did lose my first Nuzlocke, and it was very sad, but Roger the Ragnarola freaking got me through
You named him Roger?
Yeah, Roger the Ragnarola, and he got me through 2 gym battles literally by himself.
Yeah.
And it was actually crazy. And so Pokemon Black, I think, has a high standing, because I actually do think that, like, besides nostalgia, a lot of the Pokemon in it are pretty cool and pretty original.
Listen, I think the anime is good on this one. I think the games are really good on this one, and I think that the region is just cool on this one.
Yeah.
I think the trainers as well in the anime are cool.
That is true.
All right. This one, we are both...
I didn't buy this one. I played it on my friend's Switch because I was unsure about it, and I'm kind of glad that I did that. I wasn't a huge fan. It wasn't bad. I liked Sword and Shield. I think I played Sword. But to me, it was very middle of the road. It was very forgettable. Until I looked him up for this, video, I didn't remember the legendaries or the starters. It was very forgettable. There wasn't a lot there for me.
I think this one's fine. I played through it all the way. I bought it. Me and our other friend Philip, we buy them together, and usually we play them back to back with each other. We played this one all the way through. I think it's fun. I think it's the first open world Pokemon game in a main series game. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that. I think it's cool. But
that knocks it up like a point or two for me.
I think that it's too easy as a game. I think the game is way too easy. I think the show kind of sucked. I think the anime for this one...
I didn't watch this one.
I will
be clear.
I think it's cool what they did. I think this is the one where they go back and he sees all of his old Pokemon with Professor Oak. I think that's cool, but I don't like anything else about the show from this region. I think the game is easy. I think the open world is cool. And I think the Pokemon are kind of forgettable. I know it has the Gigantamax thing. I think that's neat. I think that's a cool premise.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just it's middle of the road for me.
I would put it in C.
It's high C or low B for me. Yeah. I think low B for me just because I do really like the open world aspect.
Yeah, and I would say high C for me because it's very...
You didn't play it. You didn't.
I didn't finish it, and so that could be a fault of mine. But it wasn't it was just I didn't enjoy it enough to warrant finishing it. I also agree. I thought it was too easy. I feel like that the games have started to get like that.
They have,
which is fair, but also I don't like So this is actually kind of a problem I have with X and Y. I love X and Y. I want to be clear, but I felt like you get handed that started whenever you started like getting handed everything.
So here's my thing with X, Y, and Z. I in my opinion, Z is like the last good Pokemon game.
I do agree with that.
I think that
agree with that.
Like it is. I really like Kalos. Kalos is like
I like the region. I like the Pokemon, and I love the starters in it. This one felt, and granted, I played this one whenever I was 13.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that. And so I was like, I actually like wasn't like 7, like trying to like have my older cousin help me get out of the cave without a light.
Yeah.
But like, I felt like this one kind of like, to me, this is the first one that I noticed like I was getting more handed to me.
Do you think it's because you were older, so you were able to do it more on your own?
See,
easier.
I wondered about that, but I want to be clear. For me, just to go ahead and give my answer, it's A tier.
Okay.
For me,
I agree with that.
Because I really,
for me, I would put it above Emerald, but I feel like
I'm probably putting it above Black.
Okay, then I'm
cool
I can
with
roll with that.
I like the anime. We were talking about this off camera. Ash should have won in X and Y.
Yeah, I agree.
And Kalos, that, like, to me, that makes so much more sense than doing the whole Alola
Remake
region and then the remake, and then he wins there. It's like, let him win and then do the whole character redesign. And also the Ash Greninja.
I think it's awesome.
It's awesome. That whole trainer battle, even is a legal adult. I think it's lame,
cool.
but it's really cool.
I think the anime is just really solid on this one too. I think like they did a good job with this. I think the game's fun. It might be a little easy. I think it's the first one where they start on that like.
But to me, everything was interesting enough about it to where I didn't care, and I still don't care.
This one's a really good one. This one for me is probably like high A, like low S. I think that this region is super cool. I have an emotional attachment to Froakie because I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, which every child did.
Everybody did.
Froakie is the clear winner of X, Y, and Z. He's like, he very quickly became one of the most,
favorites.
the favorite. I just kind of noticed that this is basically us just kind of like patting every single Pokemon game on the back and being like, "Good job, buddy."
Yeah.
Like there's we've gone through 4 and we have 3 in 8 tier.
Well, we like Pokemon. Okay, so like we can't hate.
I'm gonna say this one. For me, Gold is S tier. I know.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna articulate everything. Okay, so I actually played the original Gold. I didn't play Heart Gold because our friend Philip, for his birthday, got Gold and Silver codes for his DS. So like the digital versions, and then he was like, "These are the same game. You can have one." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I don't want to take your birthday present." He was like, and then he just like shoved it into my hand and made me take it. So I'm like, okay. So Gold was the second Pokemon game that I ever played. It was right after Ruby.
Okay.
And so it was really fun. It took me a while. I had like 60 hours before I completed the game because granted, it was partially my stupidity, but I based a lot of Gold on the game. I love the Pokemon in it. I thought Mareep, for whatever reason, is my favorite Pokemon from Generation 2. Could not tell you why. It's just an electric sheep. But Mareep is really cool. I love this. I really like the Johto starters. Even Meganium. I know that's controversial. I think he's cool. I think he's pretty cool.
I think that Chikorita is like cute. And I think that
Bayleaf is cool.
I think the Bayleaf's cool.
Meganium is like not as cool, but
so
I don't mind it.
Here's my thing. For me, this is like high B, low A. But I'm willing to swing the S for a future one that I don't think you're going to agree is S for me, which is...
Yeah, I think I know.
We're going to get there.
Okay.
So I'm willing to compromise for this one because I actually think the anime is really good for this one.
Okay. I wanted to say that Johto anime is awesome. That one's my favorite.
I think Totodile was really cool because I
really cool.
You'll see why I like the other one in a second.
And Cyndaquil is my favorite. I'm a big fire type guy. A lot of the time I pick the fire types, but I love the starters. I would argue that these have icon status.
I think that any of the starters have icon status.
I disagree with that.
I think that any of the first 5 have icon status. Like 5 regions. I think there is an argument to be made for any of those.
See, that's fair. But anyways, the reason is because after you get done with Johto, you get to go to Kanto and play through that also. And then after you beat the Elite Four for the second time, like you beat it in Kanto, you get to battle Red and his team. And that's how you beat the game. And I think that that adds so much to the game that a lot of the other ones don't have.
Yeah.
I think that that's really sick. I love the anime and I love the Pokemon. I think that I
think that's fair.
Generation 2 is my favorite generation.
Yeah, I never finished Gold. I
just cracked my knuckles. Sorry if that peaked a little bit.
Really
I didn't really think about that until I started doing it, so I apologize about that.
Gold was never my favorite game, but I know that it is a lot of people's favorite game, and I know that it is a good region. But I like the anime, I like the starters, so I'm willing to compromise the S on this one because I know that it is your favorite. Yeah. I think.
I feel like there's a clear answer for this one.
Are we gonna just do this? It's either this or it's this.
It's S.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the original 151, it's awesome.
Classic.
I actually have Pokemon Red on Game Boy, and so I haven't finished playing through it because I've had a bunch of school stuff going on. Yeah. But I've actually really enjoyed my Red playthrough. It's super fun. I got it for a Christmas gift to somebody, and I ended up just not giving it to them. Yeah. And so I kept it.
I played Blue, not Red, but. Same thing.
Yeah, Generation 1's, I mean, it's iconic.
Just, it's solid.
The best starters. I will say that. I know it's basic, but they are the best starters.
Each one.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I have, but because I get reminded of it, and then I'm like, oh, that's the best one, dude.
I think they're good. I think it's, you can't, nobody can disagree that, 151 are, good. And, classics.
Every single one of them are sick.
The anime's good. The game's good. The region's good. Ash, Brock, Misty. They're solid.
The original trio.
You can't go
And
wrong.
you got those for Johto, too, so that's why I think it's so good. You got the original trio.
Butterfree. You can't,
Butterfree's one of my favorites.
I know. That's why I brought it up. Lapras.
Oh, okay, yeah. Lapras is my all-time favorite Pokemon. Yeah.
I don't think we have to say anything else on
I don't think that...
This is good game. Okay.
I like the open world.
Yeah.
I don't like much else.
I actually think that from what I know, I haven't played this game. Neither of us have. We both haven't sat down and played this.
Yeah, I haven't bought it. It's kind of like Sword and Shield. I played it with a friend. I didn't buy it.
I've seen somebody else play it. My roommate has it and has played all of it. I think the Pokemon in it are cool. I think they have actually some really cool designed Pokemon in it. Cooler than definitely Galar and, in my opinion, Alola. I think it's out of the latest 4, it probably has the coolest designs.
Yeah.
Not much else for me, to be honest. It's not memorable, but I haven't played it, so I don't think that really helps with that. But open world's cool. I know that it doesn't run well as a game, which I can't really fault it for. Yeah. But either way, it's here for me.
I would put it in D tier.
Yeah, for me, it's here. We haven't played it, unfortunately, so people are gonna get mad at us for that, I think. But in our opinion, which isn't,
I don't think that we can clarify many more times how uninformed and biased our opinion is.
After Gen 6, I'm kaput, to be honest.
Me too.
I played a little bit of this one. I played all of this one actually, but that's about it. All right, this is my S tier one. I think that Platinum is awesome. Platinum was the first Nuzlocke I did. I think that on the DS, it was the best game for me. I played it all the way through. I think the anime's awesome. Turtwig is my favorite Pokemon.
Turtwig is his favorite Pokemon.
It literally will always be. I think that Legend Arceus is a really good game.
That's fair.
I think out of the Pokemon Switch games, it is
so I think that
top tier.
I think that Generation 4 is the one that I remember seeing the most.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah. It was this in Unova.
I do really like Generation 4, and so I would argue Giratina is arguably my favorite legendary.
Yeah, Giratina's awesome.
So I would argue to put it in high A, so I'm definitely cool with it being S.
For me, it's above.
See, I think that what we can do,
but
so I'm gonna say I think that we put Red is top, and then we have this as a technical tie.
Okay, I'm fine with this. I think any of
these... So those are tied.
Yeah. It goes either way there. Okay, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
I think the remake on Switch is stupid.
I do agree with that.
I think we're gonna have to talk for a second. Okay, so for any of you out there who have played the new remake for these, I guess they're not even new anymore. They're a year old.
Down a little bit since you're closer.
That's true. But Why didn't they go with like a style like Octopath Traveler? They could have done like the 2.5D for like cool sprites, kept the sprite style, and not do the stupid chibi thing. Why'd they do that? Why'd they do that? It's not cool. It looks.
I was passionate about it. I do agree with everything.
It looks bad.
But
it looks bad.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be so good, and they're not. Anyway, that's my opinion. I think that they should make an Octopath Traveler style game for a remake of the old games. Heck, I would even take that for gold. Put it on Switch 2. Give me an Octopath Traveler style Pokemon game on Switch 2 in 2 months.
The Generation 4, I like Piplup.
Turtwig.
I know you like Turtwig, but Piplup's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think, well, for me...
Like, the starters on Generation 4 are pretty solid.
That's for me, they're my Gen 3 in my brain. Because I think Infernape's awesome. I think Empoleon's awesome. Yeah. I think Turtwig's actually probably the worst one, but he's my favorite.
No, that's fair.
So, he's just...
A lot of the grass ones get a bad rap, man.
In the anime, Turtwig is adorable, right? He's just this little guy. He sits on Ash's head. He bites his head, and he rides around like that. That's so cute. And like the first episode is the other two fighting each other, and Turtwig going and eating their food while they're doing that. Like, dude's a champ. He's awesome.
I bet you relate to that.
I do, dude. Fatty over here. Anyway, proof that he does do that. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna get...
I want to put it in F. I don't like it. I have my grievances against the anime. I don't think he should have won in this one. I didn't like the games. This is the last game that I bought. This actually made me like, this is what made me skeptical of Sword and Shield. If you want me to be completely and totally honest.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I didn't think the legendaries were that cool. I didn't like the Alolan forms of a lot of stuff.
For me, it was the fact that it was like, in my brain, they copped out by doing Alolan form. Because I was like, you're not making new Pokemon. You're just taking old Pokemon and making them look different. That's not cool.
Yeah, I didn't like the anime on this one either.
I didn't.
It didn't feel. It felt kind of like a. I don't know. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right for Ash to win on this one after a character redesign.
It wasn't like for me. It wasn't climactic. I didn't get attached to anything in it. Like
I didn't finish it. I watched like a summary on YouTube because I didn't enjoy it enough to like even.
I watched like probably the first like 12 episodes.
Yeah. And
then never watched past that. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand that a lot of people like these games.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, although a lot of people really like Sun and Moon. I'm not one of them.
I'm not one of them either. I'm gonna be honest.
I got Moon. I played through the first like probably 2 gym battles and never finished it.
Yeah, I had Sun. I got through like the first 6. I got pretty far into it, but it came out whenever I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And so that was prime. I remember like
prime Pokemon.
Yeah, I remember seeing like kids at my lunch table play it, but I just didn't. To me, it's different than Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield was fine. It was forgettable for me. I wasn't that attached to it. This one, I actually there were things that I actually disliked about it, and that's kind of the difference.
This is the only Pokemon game that I think that we have said we actively like dislike something about.
Like I probably would never really revisit it at any point.
So I think that we put this here. Okay. And we leave these two far on the bottom because I think this is like fine.
I do agree.
And I think these ones are like, in my opinion, like bad.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I think this one has fine Pokemon. So realistically, this is how in my brain it would be.
You know, honestly, I'm actually cool with Scarlet and C tier. Yeah.
It's just like we didn't play it, so we can't really say anything about it.
Yeah.
And this one we actively dislike.
Yeah.
So sorry guys.
This is like a very basic tier list. We want to be clear. Like it's very clear. Like a lot of times, which ones are going to be the champions, which one aren't. But we still had fun.
I think any of the ones in A could probably be rearranged.
Yeah, you can make an argument for any of these. Actually, I think you could make more of an argument for Z or Emerald, though, more than Black.
I think Black for us is more like sentimental why it's up there.
It definitely is, but I still think it's very good, but it's sentimental, so I'm willing to admit that Z and Emerald could like be switched, but that one should probably stay lower A.
Yeah.
S tier, I mean, like you got to give it to the champ, dude.
Yeah, I think
you got to give it to the champ.
I think.
And then Gold and Platinum, I mean, like they're our favorites,
but they're also, I think,
but they also
are just good games. They're and good regions.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
And so I think that I mean, it's good that it's not a steady decline. We have like a mix. Like, granted,
Yeah.
it's the first 6 generations up there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it wasn't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, they don't like the first 6 are good because
1,
like
2, 4.
Yeah.
3, 6,
5. Yeah. I think that it's good that they can waver between them.
And like, I genuinely, everybody's gonna have a different out of the first 6. I think most people agree that the first 6 are like the better ones, and I think that any of those, everybody's gonna have a different opinion on what's the best one.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt. Let us
So we
know in
want to
the
be
comments
clear
if you guys
that
have
these
any...
2 are tied.
Yeah, those
And
two
then
are
we're
tied.
gonna say the Emerald and Z are
Are
technically a tie because
tied, yeah.
because we're aware that those could be interchangeable.
Yeah.
And so
For sure.
we're cool with call it a draw for those.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. We know there's only going to be like 3 of those people who.
But we
want to
hear it. We
want to hear it.
If you're a Sun and Moon lover, we want to hear your argument. We're gonna disagree with it, but we love to see it
we
because
want to hear what you have.
I
to
actually.
say.
A lot of the people that I know actually don't like Sun and Moon that well.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people I know also don't play Pokemon. So it's a very small amount of people that actually have like played it. And so they actually like for the most part like agree with like the sentiment that they weren't the biggest fan of it. Yeah. So like if you actually like Sun and Moon, I would actually like to hear good points for it.
If you have an informed opinion, let us know. But
because I would actually like to know what the appeal is. Not in a mean way.
I don't know why you think
that. Yeah, why do you think that, Fatty?
He was talking to me, not you guys. If you know, that's his nickname for me.
I didn't mean it.
Hey, timer's going off. That means it's
time to wake up. Wake up.
We actually have like 30 seconds left, so we should probably kick this out.
Yeah.
Kick them out.
You guys should leave. Let's just say goodbye now. All right. Goodbye now.
Bye guys. Have a good night, day, lunch, dinner, breakfast,
whatever.
Brunch,
Whenever you're watching this.
Afternoon tea, midnight snack, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah.
I'm a food guy. If you couldn't tell, have a
Got him.
Have a good meal.
I'm malnourished.